Well, look, you
Okay.
already got a channel member. Lisa
Oh,
became a channel member for you, Amanda.
thank
Now we have to teach
you.
you how to do it.
I know, now I need to have channel member content.
Sorry, I commandeered your intro. Go ahead.
Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, my name is Amanda Ray, and I escaped a polygamous incestuous cult known as the Order in Salt Lake City, Utah. And today we are joined with
Shalise Ansola from Cults to Consciousness.
we just came from a live on Cults of Consciousness channel. What did we talk about over there?
I blacked out.
I do feel like I was disassociating a little bit over there.
Well, we were talking about personal topics, so I don't blame you, and I appreciate you being willing to talk about that stuff. Basically, the repercussions of mothers when their children leave the cult, what happens to them, and they're often put through hell because their children leave and they're blamed for it. So we were talking about Amanda's mom and some other situations that we have heard of. So if you're interested in that, go over there. And we also launched a Costa Rica trip, which Amanda's coming.
Yes.
So there are 7 spots as of right now left out of 18. So if you want to book your spot, go back to my channel, but after you watch this.
Yes, and before I forget, I'm just going to repeat the women's retreat. We have it scheduled for this year.
A separate thing.
Yeah, this is separate. This is for ex-order members. We've had ex-FLDS members going. Gnomes is actually invited to this one as well. I'm thinking this is gonna be probably the biggest ex-cult member retreat. And if you're feeling inclined to, if you like art, if you want to purchase a piece of our art, all of the profits are going towards these retreats, as well as for the first time, we are doing a men's retreat as well. So hoping to eventually figure out how to do the whole starting a charity thing. I just feel like I have a lot of eggs in my basket right now.
501c3s are a lot to manage, which is why we haven't done one yet either.
Yeah, it's a lot. But as of right now, if you would like to purchase a painting and support the cause, my Instagram is linked down below. There's an Instagram specifically for this cause, and you can get personalized artwork as well. So go check it out. And today I'm excited about this topic because I was just recently learning that LDS, it starts at the age of 12 that you guys do baptism for the dead.
Yeah.
12, which I always thought that baptism for the dead was actually baptizing dead people, which I think a lot of people do think that, right?
Probably. Yeah.
It's in the name.
It's a lot less gruesome than that. So we aren't dipping dead bodies in water. Well, I say we. I'm no longer Mormon, but I did grow up in the mainstream Mormon. Yeah.
Wow.
I'm going to tell you all about it, Amanda. So here's the thing. This is interesting too, because their sect claims to be the original, or like, we are doing Mormonism right. But there are so many things that they don't do that the mainstream Mormon church does that Joseph Smith taught.
Let's list them.
Okay.
So when I was in the order, they didn't do sacrament. They're now doing it because people were like, hey,
Which is crazy. That's like the main thing.
So now they do sacrament, but we don't have temples.
Oh, sacrament's like communion, by the way. I've had people be like, what is sacrament? Yeah, bread and water. Wait, are you guys doing grape juice? What do you guys do?
I think it's just water. Because I honestly think, because you were asking, like, why don't you guys have temples? Why don't you? I genuinely think it's because it costs money. Yeah. They don't want to put the effort in. And everything that they do put effort in, like consecration, is to build the money. Yeah. So anything that's taking money, then they don't want to invest in.
Okay, so sorry. I interrupted your list. Baptisms for the dead, sacrament,
the temples. They definitely do the tithing.
Do you guys do because I just did an episode on this. Was it with you? What were we talking about?
Well, they don't do missionaries either, because no one's gonna join.
No one's gonna join.
Hey, do you like? You're white. You can come this way. And do you like being with your sister? We love that over there.
Stop it. What was it called? Where you give money? Fast and testimony meeting. Do you do that?
We do fasting every first Thursday. And you
guys
do it every Thursday? You guys do it every first Sunday.
And then it comes with a testimony meeting where everyone stands up and bears their testimony in church. Do you do that?
I feel like it was just family home evening.
Okay. And then, so there's something called, oh God, why am I forgetting the name? It's going to come to me. Fast offerings, where the day that you fast, when you get home and everyone's like finally sitting down to eat that meal, it's like, oh my gosh, I just want to eat this meal. And then you get a little knock at the door, and it's a 12 to 14-year-old boy that's like, I'm here to collect your fast offerings. And you're supposed to give them more money. You're supposed to give them the money that you would have spent feeding your family for 2 meals, So, because you're supposed to fast for 2 meals, my mom told me that we used to fast the night before, the dinner night before, and breakfast the next day, and we would come home and eat lunch together after church. So, you're supposed to
Wow.
give them more money. And I would be shocked if you guys didn't do that, because
Well, we don't because they already have all of our
that's
money. So what
true.
are we supposed to do? Can I draw out the money to give it back to you?
That's true.
Like they already have it.
They
They're gonna
take
take
all
whatever
of
they want.
it. So, well, that's another one.
What's this? Someone give a donation? I
Yeah,
renewed my
Alyssa.
membership for your channel. I didn't realize that I had it. Oh, thank you. Thank you for the donation.
Yeah.
I swear I'm getting back onto the Patreon schedules and I think that if I can figure out lives on here, which
Yeah.
you say is easy, so we'll probably be getting back into that.
Yeah. Which I feel like you should just switch over to, well, anyway, topic for another day. So, baptisms for the dead. Do you want to hear my experience with it?
Well, yeah, and my first question is why
Why?
12 years old?
Why 12? Because 12 is the age that they put you in the either young men's or young women's program. So now you're officially a woman when you're 12. And you start doing activities on Wednesdays, which was called mutual. And you would go to the church building and they would have some sort of lesson. They split up the girls and the boys. They were never combined unless it was, this is how we did a simulation date night. That was real awkward, where you learned etiquette and you learned where the forks and the knives go. And then the boys would practice pulling out the chairs or standing up when the girl went to the bathroom.
That was an LDS class?
Yeah.
Hmm.
So anyway, that was the only time we commingled, and it was, oh my gosh, so embarrassing. Other times we're going and trying on wedding dresses as an
What?
activity.
At 12?
Yeah.
That is
Well, I'm sure they
weird.
probably waited till we were like 13 or 14.
Like,
But
we
yeah,
were grown.
teenagers, we would go and try on wedding dresses, modest wedding dresses, to practice for getting married in the temple. You know, the song. Do you guys sing our primary songs? I love to see the temple. I'm going there. Some they don't even
What
have
about
the
what?
primary
Wait, what about
songs.
I am a child of God?
Well, yeah, that's like
That's
number one
that's
LDS song.
okay.
And he has sent me here. Wow,
That's
that's
another
taking
one.
me back
The
right
one
now.
that was the most like I heard it recently and I was like, what the hell? Is it go
Child's Prayer.
follow the
Prophet,
prophet,
follow the prophet, follow the prophet. Don't go astray.
It's like ominous.
It is.
Like, and if you do anything,
Adam was a prophet, first one that we know. Here's the kicker. You guys are going to hate this, and I'm going to tell you, and I'm sorry. This is not my doing. So we actually had hand motions for the songs, and we would get up and do it in like a primary program. And one of them to that song was about the Lamanites, which, if you know anything about Mormon history,
Lemuel?
they claim that the Lamanites in the Book of Mormon, it's all made up, are the Native Americans. And so we would do like da da da, and we would even do the feather sign.
For Native American?
Yes, in the Follow the Prophet song.
What the hell?
Really bad. Real bad. And I don't have to tell you about the racism in Mormon history. We're getting off topic. Baptisms for the dead.
Wait, did someone else am I missing? Sorry, I have to see with my glasses because I'm an old lady.
Do you want to click it?
Wait, how do you do it? Oh, hope.
Oh, hope this helps a little bit for somebody to come to the
Aw.
retreat. That's so nice, Patty. Thank you for your
you.
donation.
Yes, and I really want to work on some kind of a video to get to show you guys because I know a lot of you guys loved the first retreat we ever did. I did a live stream and you guys got to like interact with a lot of the girls on there, but a lot of them are there to heal, right?
Yeah.
And well, probably all of them are there to heal, but there's some that are more comfortable on camera than others. So I'm gonna see if there's some way that I can do a little thank you video for you guys.
Yes, thank you for the correction. I am mixing up my Mormon trauma. The Book of Mormon stories is the one that's like, dun, dun, Book of Mormon stories that my teacher told to me are about the Lamanites. I'm remembering in ancient history. Long ago, our fathers sailed from far across the sea. Give this land if they live righteously.
So do they still do that?
Yes,
What the hell?
yes. Well, as far as I know. Oh, Alyssa
Oh, thank
gifted
you.
5
5
memberships.
Oh, you're so
This was not supposed
sweet.
to be a live of me singing, but you're welcome, guys.
You guys are in for a real treat today.
So, anyways, the reason we got off topic was because I wondered if you guys sang the "I love to see the temple, I'm going
No,
there
because we don't have a
someday."
temple. And we
That makes
specifically did
sense.
trips to the temple to be like, bad, bad. So they were telling us the real history.
So
And
you guys you guys had young women's and young men's activities too,
yeah,
but
but
to go laugh at us.
it was throwing tomatoes at the, that they flat out were like, the temple was white when Joseph Smith and everyone was actually following the polygamy, da 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 da. But then as soon as they fell away from polygamy and consecration, do you notice how there's a slight grayish hue to the temple? The temple turned gray. And I remember as a kid being like, wow.
Oh
You know, like feeling
my
up on there. It does look kind of gray.
oh my gosh, that is crazy.
Yeah. So and then and honestly, I was on their side on this one. They got upset that they now if you go through the Brigham Young's house, the Beehive house, the tour guides will lie and say this is the daughter's room and the other daughter's room and the other daughter's room, but they used to say this is his first wife's room, this is his second. So I actually am on the polygamous side on that one. You
Yeah.
guys are lying about the history to the public.
Weird. They've never done that before.
Yeah, this is out of character for them.
Yeah. Okay.
So yeah, going back to the baptism for the dead, you
Yeah.
were 12 years old, and this is like a great opportunity for you to be a part of. You go into the temple, but don't you have to be endowed or something to even be allowed to be in the
No,
temple?
Jonathan says the quality's bad and nothing's unplugged. Sorry guys if you can't see us very well. So baptisms for the dead, Mormons basically believe, at least in the mainstream Mormon church, what I grew up with was we basically need to baptize everybody who's ever lived and everybody who's about to, so that when you get to heaven, you have the opportunity to ascend to the higher levels, the higher degrees of heaven. So there are 3 levels of heaven: celestial, terrestrial,
Terrestrial?
telestial, sea turtle, sea turtle. That's how I remember it.
Oh, okay.
So basically, they believe that if you die and you're Catholic and you get up there, someone's there going, "Oh, bummer, you weren't baptized into the right church. You have to wait here in limbo until Shalise, who's 12, is, if she's worthy enough, can go and dunk for you, and then you can ascend." It's this whole thing, which is insane because there are a lot of people on the
So
planet
you're
Earth.
basically someone's taking you and going
Proxy. Yeah, by
I
proxy.
baptized you
In the name,
Juliana.
yes, exactly. So, what you would do is you would take these trips to the temple once you hit 12, because you would go in your young women's group. They would be like, sign up for the temple trip. And then you would put your name down, and hopefully you weren't sinning and you weren't a bad kid, or else none of the baptisms you did would count. That's right. So, talk about guilt. You're like, this isn't so bad, only the eternal salvation is on my shoulders for
yeah.
Jane Doe, who's getting baptized, who I'm baptizing. So basically, and I had this whole situation where I thought I wasn't worthy enough to go, but also if I didn't go, everyone would know that I wasn't worthy. And I remember panicking and going into the bishop's interview and being like, like, I have to confess something. And it was basically just making out with a boyfriend or something. And he's like, you're more than worthy to go. And I was like, oh, good. I can go and do all these baptisms. So you go into the temple, and this is the only chance you can go into the temple before you get your endowments, which I never did. So you can get your endowments. Let me back up. A temple are the ones that look like castles that everyone probably thinks is just a church. No, they're the really
Let's back up
pretty.
even more. A church.
A church is where everyone goes on Sunday, but you can only go to the temple if you're worthy, and the bishop has to sign off on that. So you have to do bishop's interviews and get asked all of these questions, some of them sexually explicit, like if you've been keeping the law of chastity, which means not boinking your sisters, not hanging,
No boinking anyone.
no
Not even
boinking
just your
anyone until you're married. And there was even a point where you couldn't have oral sex with your husband or wife. They were revoking memberships, and they're like, okay, fine, you could do that too. So anyway, so you have to be worthy to go. Your bishop signs off on it. You go to these giant, gorgeous temples that look like castles, and they're very fairy tale, especially as a little girl. I'm like, oh my gosh, I want to get married in one of those one day. And they make you believe that that's your only choice anyway. So you go in, and they give you these, well, also, there's so many things to explain. There are these little old ladies who volunteer, and Everyone has on all white. You can't wear any color. So they have on these little booties and these little stockings and these little white dresses that look like little pioneer dresses. FLDS run or something. And then they walk you a very specific path because you can only see what they want you to see into the locker room, and they give you a jumpsuit. And I always had a quarrel with these jumpsuits. If we have any Exmos on here, you know what I'm talking about.
Oh, it's the same one that you get baptized in at
Yeah,
the church, right?
yeah, pretty much. But they're the ones that I had, and I've seen comments of other people too. They're basically see-through when they get wet. And I wasn't allowed to wear a bra. I was, of age. I got my period at like 10. So I was mature. Sorry. I matured a lot faster than everybody else. And I was like, I can't wear a bra. Like, my bra's white though. And I remember them saying no.
What the
But
hell?
then I had to wear white underwear too. And so you put on all this white stuff and you go to the baptismal font, which is like this huge tub that in most cases is suspended on oxen.
What's the oxen thing? Because if you Google it, you can actually see this. I Googled it today,
Yeah.
baptismal font LDS.
Yeah.
There's all these oxen around. Is there
I think
symbolism?
it's the 12 tribes of Israel thing.
What the hell?
I'm pretty sure they represent the 12 tribes of Israel. And so you go down into this font, and I remember the one that I went to in the Logan Temple. There was like this catwalk that you go across. It's way above everything else. So if you can imagine, it's like this huge room, like 20-foot ceilings, it felt like. Because from the top of the ceiling to the bottom of the floor where the font is like all this space for the oxen that are these, which is funny. It's like, don't have idols. And then we're literally getting baptized on a cow.
Which is funny because those in the story of Moses going up to get the thing, they were worshiping
Yes,
a cow,
I know.
right?
That's why it's so
Same
funny.
exact thing.
So anyway, you go across this catwalk and then you descend down when it's your turn and you get in and there's a dude waiting for you in there who's a worthy priesthood holder. And then they have this screen and these names would pop up. And so they would just dunk you like over and over and over and over. What is it? Like, I, John, in the name of the Father and the Son and the Holy Ghost, baptize you. And then they say the person's name to receive the I don't know. You guys remember it.
What
It's
about
like a prayer.
if your foot comes up, they
You have to
rebaptize
redo it. If your foot comes up, if a piece of hair comes up, you have to do it again. So you get dunked a whole bunch of times, and then they make it up to be this huge thing where they're like, these souls are waiting. They're just at the edge of their souly seats waiting for you to baptize them, and because then they can ascend. And so for a kid, you're like, wow, I'm doing something important. And there's a lot of stake in it. And people would even say that there were stories of people who saw the spirits waiting for them to get baptized. And I was like, I'm going to see a ghost. I didn't because they weren't waiting.
Dang it.
But that's baptisms for the dead. And you would go multiple times if you were a good, worthy Mormon kid. And
When
what
did it
else?
stop? Or do you do them into adulthood?
That's a good question. I think once you get your endowments, I think it's mostly the kids that do it.
Okay.
Now that I think about it,
I have a question for
I think
you.
it's mostly the kids.
So
That's weird.
yeah,
That's a weird thing to put on kids. Just now having this realization.
free labor. and
Why
they
aren't
have the
the
most
adults
time.
doing this? Because the adults would do the endowment sessions for dead people. Once you got your endowments out and you keep going back to the temple, that's what you're doing, are endowment sessions for dead people.
Yeah, it's weird. They task the kids with random things like the sacrament was a kid job
Yeah,
too.
yeah.
I don't know.
Wait, did you?
Boys.
Wait,
I
you
think
guys
the
just
order
started
is
doing
now
it.
copying the LDS and having boys.
Okay.
What is it called? Sacrament boys or service boys or whatever?
Well, they have names like deacons. Actually, they just changed those. It used to be Maya maids. Beehives were the youngest, and then Maya maids and Laurels, they would separate it into age groups, and they just changed it to the weirdest names, and I don't remember what they are, like Faith Seeker or something.
Yeah, ours was because it was like young woman, young men's. Ours was like
Yeah, tell me what yours were.
the men were like stripling warriors and lions, and we were sunflowers.
Oh my gosh, sunflowers.
Noble maids.
Noble maids.
I remember being like, this is bullshit.
Okay, they changed it to builders of faith, messengers of hope, and gatherers of light.
What's the girls' names?
Those are all the girl names.
Oh, builders of faith, messengers of hope, and gatherers of light. Okay.
Yeah, I don't know why they changed it. Anyway.
Weird. Okay, my question for you was that because I was doing some research, someone was showing me that you can actually look up all the names that are baptism for the dead.
Yeah.
And Ortel Kingston, my grandpa, who was the second leader of the order, someone baptized the dead for him. And
Oh, that would
and
have pissed him off. Rolling in his grave.
and so my question was like, I wondered if he had told someone just in case, have throw one in there for
No, it was
me.
probably someone who left, converted to mainstream Mormonism, and thought that they had a job to do. Because you usually start with your own family. So
Um,
Mormons are huge on family history and genealogy. In fact, they had all these people cataloging information from them, and then they sold it to Ancestry.com. It's a bunch of free labor, and then sold it for millions because they have such great records of family lines. So you basically start with your heathen ancestors, and you can submit names that
and
you
for
want
those
to
ones, you have to
baptize.
baptize them 4 or 5 times to get the evil out.
You got to dunk them twice. Actually, there were reports of, and this is awful, people baptizing Holocaust victims into the Mormon Church.
It just feels like there's a real like lack of boundaries.
But when you think you're the one true church on the earth,
They're blessing people with
they
it.
think they're blessing people.
Yeah. So
They're
weird.
not. They should stop.
Okay, we should take a few questions and then are we wanting to do a Patreon live? Do you have the energy for this?
Whatever you, well, does Jonathan have the energy to watch the kids for longer? Jonathan, text me and let me know.
Yeah, because we were talking about doing a
'Cause-
Patreon live and she was
right,
gonna
cutting this one short and then cutting
and
yours
then cutting
short.
my hair short. Yeah.
Yeah, we could do
So,
that if we keep this shorter. Was there something else that you wanted to talk about though, as far as the rituals?
um, okay, so we talked about
The
the baptism for the dead,
temple.
but was baptism for the dead something that Joseph Smith specifically said that needs to be done?
I thought so.
Because that's also like it's crazy that the order is like the true church on earth, right? That's what they say,
Yes.
and they lack the baptism of the dead thing, they lack the temple thing, they reluctantly did the sacrament thing. Um,
Yeah. It was restored in modern times by Joseph Smith, August 1840 in Nauvoo, Illinois.
so he Joseph Smith
He
himself
implemented
said
baptisms.
that,
But if you guys don't have temples, then, well, but you still baptize people. Do you
yeah,
baptize at 8 too?
everyone gets baptized at 8 at the same place in Bountiful where the holy spot is, and our belief is the same as yours. At 8 is when you can become a member, and so that's your membership, right?
Yeah. Do you guys
Um,
do sealings with the Holy Ghost? The setting apart? The laying on of hands to set apart someone? So
yeah,
you have the baptism and then you have to give them the gift
the
of the Holy
blessing. So
Ghost.
what they do is they record it, and it's all these numbered men putting their sweaty hands on your head, and your neck hurts, and there's a recording. They always record it because it's like the girls is always like, you're gonna be a mother in Zion. It's almost like this premonition for your future. And Val tells his story. He's like, mine said that I was gonna have multiple wives and many children.
That didn't pan out, did it?
But it's almost, yeah, it's almost like a psychic reading. Did you guys have
Oh.
those where it's like you're gonna be a mother in
Wait, did you
Zion?
have patriarchal blessings?
I think so.
Because what you're describing sounds like a patriarchal blessing.
Yeah, maybe that's what it was.
Because the patriarchal blessing, but it's not at baptism. You basically get impressed when you should receive it when you're a teenager, and then you have to fast ahead of time, and then you go to a patriarch's house who's special,
Mm.
and it's basically like a channeling of God.
I
You
think that
think
was
that God is speaking through him, and then they write it on this special paper. Wait, Jonathan just found mine a couple days ago. It's
okay.
somewhere
So
in, it's
girls
back
could do that.
there.
I think it was a more of a man thing in ours because I think Val had that too. But so you had one where you felt that you were speaking to Christ.
Yes, we were told that the patriarch was literally channeling God and writing about our future. And you can't show anybody. We did a whole episode. Actually, when Alyssa Grenfell stepped in when I was postpartum, she did a channel takeover. She came over because she lives 10 minutes away. You weren't here. You would have done the same thing. She did a channel takeover to talk about patriarchal blessings. So you can't show anyone except your spouse once you get married.
Wow.
It's
And that's why only
that
Jonathan has seen.
secret
We
of
can't know. Was it
yeah.
actually true, any of the stuff, or
I
none
don't
of
know.
it?
Should I go get it? That should be one for another day. Maybe we'll do a Patreon
A
for
sneak
a
peek
channel
on
members
Patreon.
live on Amanda's channel about my patriarchal blessing. We can
That's
read it
crazy.
together. It is back there. We just found it.
Wait, can we read a little bit of it on the Patreon?
What, right now or on the Patreon after this? Whatever
Wait.
you want to do.
On the Patreon. Yeah.
Okay.
That'll entice you guys to come over to Patreon. I think I have the Patreon linked down below. I'm pretty sure I put it in there, but if not, I'll hurry and link it. But we're gonna go hang out on Patreon. Did you have any final words before?
Final thoughts. Do they drink coffee and tea? Do you guys drink coffee and tea?
Tea was never a bad thing, but coffee was a bad thing.
Okay.
Yes. Thank you for joining. I appreciate you guys. I need to kick the habit of saying appreciate. That's an order thing.
Why?
I
Appreciation is a good
A
thing.
is for appreciation, but I could be like, what's another word that I could use?
I
that
have
triggers me?
gratitude.
Yeah. Thank you guys.
I'm grateful that you're here. Just kidding.
I just noticed a lot of people from the order say appreciate.
Here, you can hit end whenever you're ready.
Okay. Thank you guys so much for joining and participating. I appreciate you.
Yes, and if you're just watching her replay, go and watch the first part of this on our channel, Cults to Consciousness.
Yes, it's if you click the little @, it'll take you over to Shalisa's channel.
And if you want to come to Costa Rica with me and Amanda and other people, there are 7 spots as of this recording left.
Val,
Come to Costa Rica.
yeah,
I texted
we're
him.
going, so you're
We're-
going.
I was texting him, I'm like, you're coming.
Why didn't God's blessing tell me I'd have multiple husbands? Darn it. If it was a real blessing telling the real truth, then that's what it would have said.
Right.
But okay, go over to the Patreon. I'm gonna get a
cut Amanda's
makeover,
hair.
and we might be peeping into the what would you call it?
Patriarchal blessing.
Patriarchal blessing.
Okay,
So-
bye.
Okay, bye.